Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent. It is our Week 15 preview. We got our start, sits, sleepers, all that good stuff. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and Seth. One of people's favorite things about going remote, guys, is they say they don't hear Phil cough anymore. So excuse that cough right there. Kind of a weird start here right now. I'll switch it up right there. The last 5 minutes I've been hearing Phil and Jordan talk about how to lose weight at the gym, and it just was like very oxymoron. Like, I don't know what the deal was. Phil was talking about cold plunges and taking a sauna.
Rich
like
coming
two
from
things.
you.
Two things I don't know if Phil's ever done in his life: cold plunge or sauna. He probably listened to one Rogan podcast, and all of a sudden he knows what a sauna is. He's probably getting infrared lights in his house and all that stuff. But we have Week 15.
Trent, we've shared
guys.
a sauna together. You know that that's not true. We've literally cut weight together in a sauna, so don't act like that's not true.
When?
High school.
I don't remember going in a sauna with you. I wish I did.
Trent, did you even have to cut in high school?
Oh yeah, every week.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
What?
it's a legitimate question.
It is. There's a weight class where you don't have to cut weight.
There's not.
There's not though. So you're making fun of Trent. You made fun of Trent without meaning make fun of Trent. That's what just happened right now.
I mean, this is a great segue. We've been getting a lot of fans questions. Has Phil lost weight? I know that was
no one has asked that question.
We've had a couple people write in and just say, "Hey,
the answer's been questioned. It's been answered already. He walks.
Asked and answered.
He walks.
No. I have been running. My back has been doing a little bit better, and so I've been getting some runs in. And
so you probably should race Seth then.
I'm not at that point yet where my back is in full effect to beat Seth's time. I'm pretty sure I could. Yeah,
I could probably lap him.
Next week, I probably could just smoke Seth's time, and then I probably won't be lying on the ground dying eating bananas because I was getting cramps like a little baby. I could go on and on about Seth and his mile run. Like, the guy couldn't finish the rest of his day after he ran that mile. It's like, dude,
I could run a sub 6 right now, easy.
Prove it.
Okay, I will.
All right, video yourself, and we'll post it on Instagram.
Perfect. I will send it when I do it.
Okay, sounds good. The other things that we had on this things to talk about: if Russ was on the Seahawks, are they a deep playoff team? Someone asked that.
No one cares.
Seth, no.
No, I was just waving to my daughter, but
okay.
I am not sure.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think
that
so.
was not.
But
go ahead. Sorry, Seth.
I don't think so, but I think Russ has been playing good. But I also think I think the team started to figure out how to play together. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jordan, what were you gonna say?
No, I forgot. That was the wrong question. I gave the wrong answer to that question. There's another question that I don't care. No one cares about.
Will the Broncos make the playoffs? That was the one you're looking for, right?
That's the one no one cares. The first question is, or to answer your question, no, because Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson would still hate each other. So they wouldn't make the playoffs.
And what about Broncos? Will they make it?
No one cares.
And this is a hard question for you to answer because your second favorite team in the NFL is in that division.
You don't slowly losing the division, I should say.
Yeah.
And then the last question that we had that was submitted fan questions here is Jordan before, and I think we've mentioned this on the pod, Jordan decided to pop off to Trent and me just one day randomly. Like we weren't even asking for this. We just were like, hey, the Niners are a decent team. They have an opportunity to make the Super Bowl. We think that they can. And Jordan was basically making us act like a bunch of fools that they could ever make the Super Bowl, basically, cursing our names up and down, writing us off. And now the Niners are in a very good position to be a Super Bowl contender. And he said he would eat a hot chip if they, in fact, won the Super Bowl. How are you feeling, Jordan? I know you're a spicy guy. You're a spicy dude. How are you feeling, Jordan?
So I'm trying to
The betting odds don't matter. That's a deflection. If you pull up the betting odds, that is a deflection.
No.
I don't want to root for the 49ers, but I do want to see Jordan do a hot chip challenge.
So this is what Trent said. If the Niners make it to the Super Bowl, they might win. Their defense is so good. And Phil said, they don't have Patrick Mahomes, though, Trent. He makes too many cool throws going out of bounds. And I say, 0 chance Niners win the Super Bowl with any of their QBs on that roster. This is in August, for what it's worth. Phil, I hate that Jordan thinks they can't make it. I hate the Niners and think they could. Trent, Purdy could get better. If Tanner Wilson can get – if someone can get better, so can Brock. And I go, if the Niners win the Super Bowl, I will do a spicy chip live on pod. Put that in writing.
Okay. So why are you recapping? Oh, so, are you talking about
just I want the context of what that came from. And then so 2, your question is what? What's your question, Phil?
Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
Oh, yes, I'm nervous. But the best part about this whole thing is that there's so many people that are rooting for me to do the hot chip challenge. But the other part of it is that a lot of these people also hate the Niners. And so they're either going to root for me to do the hot chip challenge and root for the Niners, or they're going to have to root for me and against the Niners. And then the other best part about this is that I might have to become a Cowboys fan for a day if the Niners and the Cowboys meet in the NFC Championship.
It's true.
You might do what DeVito's agent did to his father, to Trent, if the Cowboys beat the Niners. Just give him a big old wet one on the cheek.
Yeah, Judas' kiss.
The other thing is that we did you guys see Cam Newton basically just saying that like Brock Purdy, Dak, Tua, and Jared Goff are basically just game managers?
I saw that. He said they aren't MVPs. He said they're just game managers.
Yeah, he basically said they're just game managers. And I was like, he basically said that they don't have I said is like
makers.
They're not difference makers. They said don't lose. You put those guys in saying don't lose the game rather than saying like don't win the game. And I don't necessarily know if I would agree with that. Like Brock Purdy has lost 2 games. One of those games he took the team down the field and the guy missed the field goal. And then, I mean, Jared Goff, I guess that's maybe a little bit different, but Dak has also done okay recently. I just don't know if I agree with him. And I feel like that's kind of a bold statement. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Do you guys feel the same? It's kind of,
I think I don't necessarily agree with him, but I think he's saying the other guys in the MVP odds, like Jalen Hurts saying like, I think he's saying the only reason that team is good is because he's quarterback. The only reason the Ravens are good is because Lamar Jackson is quarterback. And honestly, I don't know if I necessarily agree with I don't necessarily agree with the Dak part more than Brock Purdy, because I think it's a little, I want to say it's harder for Dak, because I did go to the Seahawks 49ers game, and I will say Brock Purdy looked good. He made all the throws he should have made, but I watched every play. He only made, I think, 1 or 2 hard throws. Like the rest were like guys were open and he was throwing to them. Like, I think I could have completed 5 of the passes he threw, like I'm not saying I'm just saying like, I don't think it's
Seth, I don't know
NFL quarterback is easy, but I'm just saying there was no hard, like there were maybe 1 or 2 hard throws. That was it.
Seth, I don't know if anyone on this pod could complete 5 passes in a high school football game, let alone an NFL game.
About?
Yeah, high school football game is a little bit different. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Depending against what team. Like, yeah, sure, we go out there and
Trent.
We go out there and play,
Ayuk
Strathmore, maybe, but Strathmore's actually pretty good. Strathmore, that's
Brandon
a small
Ayuk
city.
5-yard curl. Come on, bro. I could throw that easy.
With all the okay.
I'm with Trent. I don't know if any of us could complete the little pitch pass forward that these guys do on the sweep.
What?
The step and toss?
I'm sorry, you guys might trip when you do it, but I won't.
Yeah, no, Seth, I agree with you.
No,
like I actually think
look at those
if I
350-pound linemen coming
I will
at you.
complete 5 passes.
Zero
Seth,
chance.
Did you play quarterback on your high school football team?
What?
Did you play
the only problem that we have with this
Trent,
is
if I played high school quarterback, I'm sure I could be at least like somewhat decent to terrible. Okay.
Well, Seth, the only problem is that you
terrible,
claim
guys. That's the bar.
Here's the problem, though, is that
the guys I
Seth,
played with, but if I played quarterback, our team would not have been worse.
Okay, well, here's the problem, Seth, though. You said you were a decent
Yeah,
kicker.
you were a quarterback.
You said you were a decent kicker, and you missed a field goal in your family's field goal competition.
Yeah, with if I had cleats on, no way I'm missing that. The grass is wet. I'm wearing boots. Okay.
It was
like, why did everyone else under the same circumstances
make it?
Because Phill, they shuffled and kicked with their toe. They shuffled.
You got the job done, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
No.
I have no. Seth, I agree with you, but I think you have to earn your trust back with our listeners. You've made a couple of bold statements on the podcast.
I don't have to earn my trust with anything. Okay.
Hey! I said
my
I believe in you.
Have not seen me do anything. They have no idea.
You're right. They have seen you do nothing. Yeah. Our listeners are surprised you can plug in your computer and get the mic working every week, but we're happy you're here. Here's something I want to share with you guys before we get to our Week 15 preview. And our Week 15 preview is brought to you by our friends over at Trophy Smack. Guys, go over to Trophy Smack, get your trophy for your league, last place ribbons, participation awards, all that good stuff. Go to www.trophysmack.com/dudes, 15% off your whole entire order, guys. Hey, maybe you think you're going to win your league. Get yourself that first place trophy. Get the guys in the league to help pitch in for it too, though, and get 15% off. Go to www.trophysmack.com/dudes. Guys, I wanted to do a quick little graph here because this got brought to my attention here, and I'm going to share it on the screen. Go check it out on YouTube at tffdudes, guys. And here it is right here. It's Jimmy G 2019 season versus Brock Purdy. Same amount of games, okay? So check that out. Maybe you can't see it that much, but Brock Purdy's thrown 3,553 yards. Jimmy G threw 3,245. Passing TDs, they both threw 25 this point in the season. Jimmy G had thrown 11. Brock had thrown 7. Completion percentage, Jimmy G was 69%. Brock Purdy was 70%. QBR rating, Jimmy G was 103.9, and Brock Purdy is 116.9. The 49ers record under Garoppolo was 11-2. And under Brock Purdy, they are 10-3. Just some, food for thought to, you can chew on that a little bit. But kind of interesting, right? Seeing that there.
But I mean, they didn't win the Super Bowl.
They didn't win the Super Bowl, but it's an interesting graph there, though, how similar they were, though. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but Jimmy G wasn't in the Super Bowl MVP conversation either, I don't think. But I guess Mahomes was a lot better.
You mean the NFL MVP conversation?
NFL MVP, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying earlier, to my point. I don't think he's the MVP.
Yeah.
I think Dak right now, this is my opinion. I think Dak's less of a game manager than he is.
I would argue that CMC should probably be MVP if the 49ers.
I think he's the biggest reason why they're winning games.
Yeah.
That and their defense.
I agree.
All right, okay. I think we can probably move on here from the news. We've got a lot of good stuff, and we are a full 15 minutes into this podcast, and we have quite a few games to get going with.
Full slate.
We have a full
16.
slate. 16 games. So we're going to have to go quick here, boys. First week of playoffs potentially could be over, or you could be starting your first week of playoffs. So essentially listen up here. We have a couple of sleepers before we dive into it. So I am going to pass this over to you guys. We can go through it quick. Trent, you have Ty Chandler. Jordan, you have Jaden Reed. Seth, you have Odell Beckham. In that order, just go ahead and chat about them real quick. Trent, go ahead.
All right. If Alexander Mattison does not play, I think Ty Chandler's a real nice RB2. Zach Moss had a TD called back last week versus the Bengals, and that's the second week, that's ending the streak of 4 straight opposing running backs having at least 13.9 fantasy points against the Bengals. So it's a pretty good spot for running backs this week versus the Bengals. So they had four straight games prior of 13.9 fantasy points. So if Ty Chandler's available and if Alexander Mattison does not play, I think Ty Chandler's a really good sleeper opportunity this week.
My sleeper is Jaden Reed. We saw last week Drake London was my sleeper, and he just had a career game against the Buccaneers. So Tampa Bay is one of the best matches for wide receivers. Reed played 70% snaps and had 10 targets without Christian Watson, and Wicks left the game too last week. So I don't see Watson playing. He's had these hamstring issues in the past. Wicks, I don't know if he plays, but Jaden Reed should be in for a lot of targets, a lot of opportunity against this really, really bad Tampa Bay secondary.
Right on.
Nice.
All right. Anything else? Sorry, Seth. I skipped you.
Trying to skip my sleeper. Okay, here we go. My sleeper is Odell Beckham. Odell had 17 points last week, half point PPR, so he's up in the 20s. What's interesting is he has played more snaps than he did before the bye. So before the bye, the 3 games before, he was playing 30% snaps, and then this last week he was playing 50. But what's interesting, he had 10 targets and 4 catches. So Lamar is throwing him the ball, and I think this is going to pair with one of our starts later this week. I think it's just a good spot for the Ravens this week against Jacksonville. So Odell Beckham's my sleeper this week.
All right. Before we get into that, Phil, I just have a quick little announcement here from the Fantasy Dad. I'm going to play it real quick. We'll get into our Week 15 preview.
What's up, my dudes? Just wanted to drop in and remind everyone watching and listening, next week, December 19th, it's happening. The Dad and the Dudes are having a Christmas holiday special. We'll be giving out all kinds of awards to NFL players. We got the Grinch Award. We got the John McClane Award because Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and many, many more awards coming at you. So check it out. December 19th, the Dads, the Dudes, finally getting together.
There you have it right there. That'll be next Tuesday. So get that third bonus Christmas episode there for you guys. So Phil, let's get into it. Get into those matchups, please.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I was looking this up because I don't see the point total in here, but I think this is actually our lowest point total of the week. We have the 5-8 Chargers at the 5-8 Raiders. The current spread right now, the current total right now is 34, and Las Vegas Raiders is currently the Las Vegas Raiders are currently favored by 3. Both these teams combined scored a total of 7 points last week. So I cannot expect for this one to be a big one. Seth, you have a sit. Trent, you have a sit. Seth, I'm going to start with you, and then you can go over to Trent.
Yeah, so let me clear this up. So Josh Jacobs is listed as questionable, but he didn't practice today, so it's seeming like he's not going to play. The Raiders, are really at this point playing for draft picks, so I don't think he's going to play. So I think Zamir White is going to start. What's interesting is I like to go off PFF stuff, but they have him listed of having like a 15-point plus game, and I just don't see that happening. And I think some other apps are listing him to get like a pretty decent game. I don't think he gets above 10 points. If I'm looking at this guy's snap percentages, he's only played above 20% twice, which is obviously makes sense because Josh Jacobs is a 3-down back. But this guy hasn't had more than 4 carries in the game, not anything more than 22 yards. So I just don't think this game, we saw the Raiders play last week, and Josh Jacobs had a hard time last week. He also got injured, but I just don't think this game's going to be terrible. I don't think you want to play really anyone in it, maybe besides Devontae Adams, and maybe that's it, and Eckler. But
yeah, and that even might be a little bit tough in this game. I was incorrect. Trent does not have a sit in this game, but I think, Seth, you wrapped that up nicely. I don't, with Justin Herbert out for the season and just a rough Raiders offense the last week, I don't know what there is to be excited about in this game. Is there anything you guys can think of before we just go to the next one?
I think
we don't even know who's
Adams
playing QB, right? For the Raiders, we don't know right now.
I think it's Hoyer, maybe?
It's O'Connell. I thought it was O'Connell.
I didn't know if they announced it yet.
Did they make an announcement, Jordan?
I thought I saw they announced it was going to be O'Connell.
Okay.
I speaking of O'Connell, I think if you think they can get him the ball, I think Devontae could have a really good game here.
Yeah.
This Chargers secondary is very weak. It's just a matter of getting him the football. If you can get Devontae the football, he could have a really good game here. So
it looks like you guys are in fact sticking with him.
You guys also did you mention that Keenan Allen was out too?
Yeah, I had him as a sit earlier before I knew he was out, and I saw he was out, and I forgot to take it out of the show notes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no Keenan Allen. Could be a
I just
decent
don't know.
Eckler spot.
Yeah, it would be an Eckler spot if anything.
Just
But man, this might be an ugly game. I like Devontae. I think Devontae could have a nice game here, though. It'd be really needed for me too in fantasy playoffs. It'd be nice.
It's just such a bummer if you start Eckler and he puts up a big old fat goose egg or a low point total on a Thursday.
I just think with Stick playing, I think they're going to rely on throwing Eckler the ball a lot.
You think they use their backup running back too? Who is it? Kelly? You think Kelly's in the
Yeah, but
you
Eckler had a
aren't gonna
good game
play him.
last week, even with Kelly.
Yeah, I think Kelly helps him there. Jordan, you didn't give the totals for the week.
Yeah, let me do that real quick.
Okay, if you have those.
Honestly, yeah. So Phill did not give any picks for last week, so he was an automatic loser. Seth and I both went 9-6. Trent, you went 12-3, man. So I think that's the best percentage we've had all year is 12-3. So like, good job.
I'm back.
Way to get it
Thank
done. You are at you are at 4 wins. I am at 5 wins. Phill is at 2 wins, and Seth is at 3 wins.
And I was just dabbing on YouTube. If you so go check that out at tffdudes. You won't want to miss that, guys. And pretty good at dabbing.
You also have a Bucky shirt on.
I also have a Bucky shirt on for all the Bucky fans out there. I have been right there. My daughter loves the Bucky shirt. She loves the Beaver. I wore it at her little birthday party with my little immediate family here tonight, and she likes my Beaver shirt, and I like it too. It's probably my favorite shirt. So if you're listening to the pod and you're near Bucky's, you could send me another Bucky shirt. I'd love it. So super comfortable, tri-blend. Yeah. Anyways, totally off topic. I'm going to say Raiders win this game.
I'm going to go Raiders too.
Raiders.
I'm going Chargers. Whenever a backup QB comes in, there's just a little bit of a fire going on in that team. They rally around him. I'm saying Chargers. This is my comeback week, baby.
Is Palmer playing?
But even, you don't have Keenan Allen either, though, Phill.
I don't care.
Okay.
All we need is Gerald Everett, baby.
Josh Palmer did return from IR.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like it's going to be Easton Stick.
Yeah, that's the QB.
Yes.
Yeah. That's thanks for
Phil,
paying
stay with the
attention the last
Chargers.
5
We'll
minutes,
let you
man.
get last again.
No,
It's
I'm looking at the
Easton Stick.
I couldn't remember who we were working with here, and Gerald Everett's going to be a money combination. Hey, I will say backup QBs, tight ends, oftentimes you can almost always slap the over, even with Palmer playing. I don't care.
We are 20 minutes in, and we've gone over 1 game, Phill. Let's go.
Slap the over.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Slap the over, baby. Dab on them.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
moving on here.
Slap the over. I was talking to Phill earlier, or not Phill. I was talking to Seth earlier today, and he said, "Hey, man, my dogs are barking." I'm like, your dogs are barking. What's that even mean? He's like, yeah, he's all, my dogs are barking. So I headed over to Manscaped, Trent, and they really helped me out, guys. Go over to manscaped.com, promo code DUDES20, 20% off your whole entire order, guys. Don't let your dogs be barking. Go head over, get that new Performance 5.0 Ultra trim to aftercare. This is an all-inclusive kit, has everything you need to feel clean and to keep your dogs from barking after you're done taking care of yourself. They got the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with the hair trimmer, weed whacker, crop soother, crop preserver, deodorant, magic mat, and it also comes with some Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravos, $34.99 value. Get this whole thing and save 20% off. Enter promo code DUDES20, guys. You will not want to miss that, guys. Go get yourself that, and don't let your dogs bark. All right, Phill, what do we got next, dog?
Deck the halls.
All right,
boys.
Good Christmas gift, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving on here. We have the 7-6 Vikings versus the 7-6 Bengals. Current total right now is 39. Cincinnati is currently favored by 3.5. Jake Browning looking like fire the last couple of weeks, or last week rather. What are we talking about here? Let's run with this one.
So what I'll say is Browning looks really good. And I think it's to show how bad Burrow's been hurt the whole year. Because Browning's been playing really good. Like he has back-to-back games with rushing touchdowns. He's getting it done. And hopefully he can get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins involved because he had a really good game last week. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I think, both combined for 5 catches total between the two of them. So he could do really good, and he could do better if he can include those guys. I know the Vikings defense they're pretty solid, but the Vikings side, like I said, I got my sleeper, Ty Chandler. I think it's a good running back spot here, guys. So Jordan, what do you got on this game?
Same. Ty Chandler, Justin Jefferson's back. He's a scary play, though, just because you don't know. But I think you play him. And, like, Nick Mullins is playing quarterback. So it's just a weird spot. And then, like Chase, I think Browning's fine. I like it. I don't know about Higgins. Higgins is a little weird, but I think Chase is fine.
Decent spot for Hawkinson. Mullins, when he was at the 49ers, he put up some pretty good numbers with Kittle there, propelled Kittle to put up some good tight end numbers. So I think Mullins could, feed Hawkinson a lot still, and Hawkinson's just been really good. Also, I think Hawkinson, he's not that far behind Travis Kelce on fantasy points on the season, and the value's just been really good there.
I thought he is tight end 1.
Is he tight end 1?
Pretty sure he is.
I thought I heard
he's tied in number 2.5 point PPR.
Okay. That's what I thought I'd heard, but pull that up if you want to double check that, Seth.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold me accountable, please. All right. Anything else we want to say in this game? I think Joe Mixon, and what about the backup running back on the Bengals, Jordan? They kind of got him involved last week. I know that's a risky play, but
we got to frame these as like people are in playoffs, Trent. So like you're not playing Chase Brown in playoffs.
Yeah, it's true. Fine.
It's playoffs, baby. I don't need to say it in the same voice as the
question. Are we all in the playoffs in at least one league?
Yes, of
course. Jordan, that is so offensive, Jordan.
Yeah, that actually is exhausting.
Would Phill tell you if he wasn't?
I made it at least.
Yes, I would. Seth was saying that he thought that he was going to make it in the playoffs because I lost, but then Seth and I both are in the consolation round in one of our leagues. Which
you want to hear the lamest thing ever about this work league I'm in? They have ties. They have ties. They don't have some leagues don't have ties. Like there was an actual tie. I've had ties in the past that goes down to QBR rating of what quarterback played. So if this tie wouldn't have happened, I would have been the 2 seed with a bye this week, but instead it was a tie. So the guy went 9-4-1 or whatever it was. And so he has one less loss than I do because of the tie. And now I don't get the 2 seed. It's terrible. So that close, but
you guys should have arm wrestled or done a nacho eating competition.
I was willing to do anything at that point. I wanted that bye, but they said no dice. So I'm going to say Bengals win this one. Bengals at home.
Bengals.
It's in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. And this is a Saturday game.
This is a Saturday game. Trent, thank you for pointing that out, kind sir. This is a Saturday game. This is a Saturday game, baby. We got a couple of those double headers, as they say. Jordan, I know you don't like that term outside of baseball games or just
how is it a double header if there's 3 games?
Triple header. I will say, did we all go with Cincinnati?
I think so.
Yeah. We all went to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I just want to let you boys know I did put my money where my mouth is. Eckler over 48.5 yards, Gerald Everett over 33.5 receiving yards, and Max Crosby over half a sack. So I put
That's not bad, Phill.
My hard-earned cash on that bet there. That is profitable to $5. So if you want to ride with me, shoot me a tweet. Let's go. All right, moving on here to our second Saturday game. We have the 7-6 Steelers versus the 7-6 Colts. Got some playoff implications here. Current total right now is 42. Indianapolis at home is favored by 2.5, especially coming off that Steelers loss. Let's jump into this one. What do we no starts, no sits. I think we can get this one kind of quick. Do we want to talk? Is Jordan, you have something you want to dial up on this one?
My only question is the Warren Najee thing. It's a good spot for them, but I just can't figure it out. So
they split.
I don't think I'm gonna use Warren this week. Well, for example, and we'll get there in the next game, but Jalen Warren or David Montgomery?
Montgomery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just don't feel the need to use Warren Najee. Maybe I'll use him in the DFS Saturday slate or something, but Yeah, I don't feel the need to use him in season long this week.
Yeah, since Matt Canada's been fired, the snap percentages, like nothing's really changed there. It's been about the same.
No.
Like they haven't leaned either way. So, and then we got Mitch Trubisky throwing again this week. Is that who's
Mitchell? Correct.
Yeah, Mitchell. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too excited about anything in this game. If Jonathan Taylor plays, there's a risk Colts share the workload, maybe a little bit with Zach Moss.
He's not playing,
I
is
don't
he?
think so.
Yeah. If he doesn't play, I think Zach Moss is a solid, maybe RB2.
Agree.
At best. So
agree.
Yeah.
I got Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Indianapolis.
I'm
Fire-
taking
Jonathan
Indianapolis.
Taylor's
one.
listed as doubtful. Yeah.
I don't think he's playing though.
No, he didn't practice, so probably not.
And we're 2 days away from this game. Essentially,
I'm gonna go Indianapolis. Man, the Steelers, have the wheels fallen off there? That's kind of what I'm wondering, and I think maybe they have. So I'm gonna go Colts here.
I think the four of us went Colts. All right, we're moving on to this is a big game here. We have the 7-6 Broncos versus the 9-4 Lions. Current total right now is 47.5. The Lions are currently favored by 5. Trent, you have some action in this game. You have a sit, and this breaks my heart. I think it breaks your heart a little bit, but do you want to talk about this sit here?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Jared Goff. In the first 6 weeks, Jared Goff had 3 games of 22 plus points. He has just won since week 7, and that was for 21.1 points. And just one, and since then, he's only been over 16. He's only been over 16.3 points. So, and that was 18.2 points. Broncos haven't let a quarterback top 17.3 points since week 4, guys. And it's just in my league, that league I said I need to buy, I have Jared Goff as my quarterback. It's a 14-team league. There's no way I can find anybody better than Jared Goff. I hate it. I'm bracing myself for Jared Goff to just lay a stinker for me. And looking at it, Broncos have 4 straight games of giving up double-digit points to running backs. So I think the Lions are going to come in here and run the ball. I think it's a Gibbs-Montgomery game. Hopefully Goff gets me a touchdown or 2. If Goff can get me 15 points, that'd be great. Like I was the second highest scorer last week, and Goff only had 8 fantasy points. So it's like I just don't know how Goff's going to do it for me in playoffs. But if you can pivot to someone else, I would do that. Like I'd rather play Russell Wilson over Jared Goff this week, I think, guys. Am I crazy?
I think it's fair.
I think this game's really simple. It's the Detroit running game and the Broncos passing game. So I think it's Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, never Jerry Jeudy, but and then the running backs for Detroit.
I'm bummed Judy's so bad. I thought Judy'd be pretty good. It just hasn't panned out for him. Yeah, maybe I'm playing Javonte too because I have to.
It's not a great spot for Javonte though.
No, it's not. It's not.
I'm gonna go Lions though.
It is in a dome.
It's in a dome. Yeah.
This is in Detroit. So that makes me feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, he just, for whatever reason, I hope he proves me wrong, guys.
Baker or Jared Goff?
Who's Baker playing again right now? Just to refresh me. The Packers.
Green Bay.
I think I'm going to go Baker. I think so. Just because I think he's going to have to throw, right?
Curious. Maybe not.
I don't think the Lions are going to have to throw. Like, I think they want to run. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I got Lions.
Okay. Everybody going Lions, one pride?
This one hurts. I think I'm going to go with my second favorite team here, and I'm going with the Lions.
I'm actually going with the Broncos, guys. They're playing hot. They're playing good ball right now. I went against the Lions last week picking the Bears. That's kind of sprung me, towards such a good week. I'm going to go Broncos again. They are a team that's scary. They're physical on defense, and Russ isn't making mistakes, and he's getting it done on the ground. I'm going Broncos. Sorry.
You said that. You said that initially.
Yeah, picking on Detroit 2 weeks in a row.
All right. Moving on here. Moving to the Sunday games. The 4-9 Commanders versus the 6-7 Rams. Current total right now is 49. LA is currently favored by 6.5. This is a good one. I think the Rams get back to 500, potentially back into a playoff contention spot. What are we thinking about here?
good Kyron Williams spot. Kyron Williams is averaging 19.1 fantasy points per game, only behind CMC this year. Like the guy he's a stud. Commanders aren't that good. I like both quarterbacks in this game. What do you?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good game for a good spot for Stafford. The Rams passing game. Washington's just been a really bad against wide receivers all year long. So yeah, I like Puka, I like Kupp, I like Stafford. Obviously, you're playing those guys. Kupp looks a little bit rejuvenated. And then Kyron, it's always he just has such an elite role that it's always a good spot for him. And then on the Washington side, I think Dotson and McLaurin are interesting. It's just hard to trust those guys in the playoffs. And then I think a sneaky guy, if Robinson is out, I think Antonio Gibson in PPR could have a really nice week. He might catch 6 catches for 40 yards or something. So I'll probably have a lot of this game in DFS. Probably one of my favorite games of the week. Not sure if I want to use Stafford, but I probably will. And then just a bunch of pieces on both sides. I like this game a lot. It's a fun game.
Stafford looked good last week. Seth, anything you got here?
Nope, but I need Kupp to actually do stuff again this week.
We need Kupp. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to play Terry McLaurin in the league right now, Jordan. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, but I think I have to do it. It is what it is. Hopefully, after the bye week, maybe this bye week could have helped, Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson if the Commanders had it earlier. I'm hoping that this maybe they bounce back after that. I'm not completely sure. I'm going to say Rams win this game. Rams are playing good football right now.
Yeah, I got Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams too.
I am going Rams. And nothing you wanted to say about Sam Howell there?
I'll fire him up, I think.
He's gonna chuck all game long, so I think it's fine.
Throw the ball 50
third
times
down, he'll chuck. Yeah,
he is 74% rostered and only 23% started. So, you might be able to start him over Jared Goff depending on the league that you're in, right?
a lot of these quarterbacks are really rostered, and I think it's because of all the quarterback injuries we've had over the course of the year. So so many teams, so many guys. I'm normally a don't roster 2 quarterbacks guy. But we've had so many injuries at the quarterback position. I think a lot of guys are just picking up 2 and then just playing it by matchup. So all these guys, it's tough out there, man, to find a quarterback. I mean, I have to start. I'm between. We'll get to what I'm between later when we get to that
well, it's
game.
just funny that he's
rough out there.
He's 23% rostered in the number 6 quarterback on the year.
Yeah, because people don't want to start Sam Howell, but they're like, oh, he's worthy of being on a roster, type of deal.
Yeah. Jordan, that's a perfect example. I had to bench Josh Allen last week, or Josh Allen was on bye, so I started Russell Wilson. I'm I really don't want to drop this guy. I'm going to hold him, and I think he's super valuable to another team right now with how bad this is. So if someone has to trot Jared Goff out there or Baker Mayfield or whatever, I think I'm going to just keep Russ on my bench. I think it helps me.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All righty, moving on here. We have the 10-3 Cowboys versus the 7-6 Bills. The current total right now is 50.5, and Buffalo is favored at home by 2.5. Trent, I'm sure that really just fires you up. I'm going to let you talk about this one a little bit. A lot of hate against Dak. Cam was, spreading some hate. And the Bills are currently favored at home. You have anything you want to say after their win over the Chiefs over a tic-tac call, as Jordan would probably say? I know he's still just burning with anger over that call, but what do you want to say here, Trent?
Actually, the opposite for what it's worth. But
Jordan was sending pictures of him holding a pen on over his computer, doing the line perfectly. Look, guys, here's what the line of scrimmage is, and all this stuff. So
for what it's worth. We don't need to get into this, but I think I've reversed course on it. And I think obviously I still think Mahomes is the most talented quarterback to ever play football, but it was definitely a bad look by him.
It was
definitely a bad look. And a bad look by Andy Reid too, for how he
did you
doubled down.
Apologize? Did you apologize to the ref for all those DMs you sent him after the game?
You guys saw that Mahomes apologized, right?
I did. Just
no, I know it's a bad look. It's really a bad look, especially coming off of the the documentary they did too with the quarterback one, because I didn't think he had the best look in that either. So like, yeah,
he's
I don't
not
know.
super likable. The other thing is it's not just that, Jordan. It's I almost thought the ref wasn't as bad as soon as he ends a game, he's like, that's the worst call I've ever seen in my life. Like talking to Josh Allen, it's like,
yeah, I know.
Why does he care? You know, like he just
no, I know. It's just a bad look. It's a bad look overall.
Yeah.
It's a bad look, and it's just here's the thing, Jordan. If Trent and I meet someone and we have a bad feeling about them, just take our word for it in the future. That's all we ask. Like
thank you, Phill.
That's all.
Thank you.
That's all.
Let's move
That's
on.
all we simply ask from this.
Phill blows a whistle and throws a flag.
The thing is that that is the closest that I will ever get to Jordan saying, Phill, you know what? I respect you a lot as a person. I care for you. You're right. That's all I'm saying right here. And that's all I want. And I will say Jordan has stepped his game up. He is letting me borrow a pair of black dress shoes for a wedding I'm in. So I appreciate that, Jordan.
Gosh, get a pair of black dress shoes so you can have them.
This guy texts me at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. I thought you had like a work meeting that day or something. You act like it was an emergency. At 7 a.m., this guy texts me like, hey, man, you got some black dress shoes I could borrow? Like at 7 a.m. And I was like, oh, crap. This guy like needs them for like a work meeting today. And like, and later that day, I saw his car by his house, and I was like, well, he must not. Do you like full visual on the Zoom call this week today, or like this guy?
No, he just wants to see if they actually like fit him or if he likes him. So like he's like, I got time to give him back. Buy yourself a pair of dress shoes, Phill. You're
buy yourself a pair that you'll wear for the rest of your life.
I'm a navy brown shoes guy, like navy suit brown shoes. And that's my feel, you know. I'm not really a black shoes wearer because I have a little, spice on me.
But, this is almost as bad as you dumping
such
soda
a bad
out.
take. Says the guy who wear $300 boots. It's just like, stop talking.
They were 150.
I would love to mute your mic.
I will say that Jordan did. I appreciate his level of urgency.
There you go.
Thank you.
I appreciated Jordan's level of urgency because it was like 7:01. I texted him 7:02. He responds, "Yes, I will leave them under my right bumper." And I just
cool, I replied back like, "Hey, I'll be in town by 7:50. Does that work for you?" Because I thought he needed them for a work meeting that day.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? That's reliable. And I think it just goes back to our friendship. I will forgive you for not believing that I'm right about Patrick Mahomes. We can move on here. We're talking about the Cowboys Bills. Trent,
this is one of the best games of the week, and Phil's over here talking about dress shoes, which reminds me of my favorite Christmas song, Christmas Shoes, but we're not getting that because I don't want to start crying. Dak looks really good. I'm really excited about this game. I'm not like I wish that Diggs wasn't hurt on Dallas's side because it'd be cool to see him and Stephon Diggs line up against each other. I think that'd be really neat. Missed opportunity. Bills side, James Cook's looked really good, guys, since Ken Dorsey left. Like he's been playing really good. I'm hoping he could. What, Jordan?
It's a really tough matchup, though.
It's a really tough matchup, but he's probably, I think you got to stay in the flames with him here. I don't, like you said, I don't love the matchup. Fire up your Cowboys. I really like Brandon Cooks again this week. I think he's going to have a big play. It's going to be a Cooks or Gallup this week. I don't know. I like Cooks a little bit more, I think. What are you thinking, Seth or Jordan?
I'll say this. Looking at the total, the weather doesn't seem like it's going to be a factor. Obviously, 50.5 is the total. The weather seems like it's going to be, I think, high 40s during the day. So it shouldn't be anything need to worry about snow or anything in Buffalo.
I almost made Dottle my sleeper too, just because I think they're getting him more and more involved. Maybe he gets a goal. Pollard looks pretty good lately too. Like we haven't mentioned that. Like I'm just trying not to get my hopes up too much, but I'm really excited about Dallas.
This game is weird because like I feel like it's a better real life game than fantasy game. Like the total's high, but like I just don't know. Like I don't really want to pick on this Dallas defense, but like you're playing Diggs, you're playing Josh Allen. I guess you're playing James Cook, but like I don't want to mess with the other stuff. Like Kincaid's weird now with Knox back. Like I feel like Knox went right back to that role after how good Kincaid was. They went right back to how it was earlier. Like, and then on the Dallas side, like I love CD and Dak in this spot, but like the rest of those guys are so tough to trust. Trent, like I like Cooks too, and I think I'll probably have him in like some type of like DFS format, but like at the same time, it's like I don't know if I trust Brandon Cooks in my first round playoffs. Like it's just weird. Like they just spread the ball around, and it's CD and it's Dak and it's Diggs and it's Allen and it's Cook and Pollard, but like I don't really trust anyone else in this game.
Even though like Diggs has not played that good, Jordan, this like the last couple games.
No,
like,
I
since
know.
Knox
like,
got hurt.
I know. It's just a weird. I don't know.
Stephon Diggs
this game is weird.
Oh man, that's Stephon Diggs is wide receiver 8 still though. Sorry, he had 4 points versus out of his 1, 2, 3, 4. He only has one good game out of his last 4. He's only been broke double digits once out of his last 4 games, and that was against Philadelphia. Gilmore looks really good on Dallas. I wouldn't be surprised if Gilmore basically against the Seahawks just mirrored DK the second half. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that again. And I don't know. Like it is like I like Ferguson too, Jordan. I think you can play Ferguson.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Buffalo gonna go home team. I'm gonna stay with Dallas, and I'm so excited for this game because I have a big playoff game that's super flex, and I got Dak and Josh Allen. So it's been a fun year. It's fun to watch them on one TV. You know, like one game.
I am going. This is a tough one. I'm going Dallas. I think this is an MVP type. If Dak wants to win MVP, this is a game that he absolutely has to win.
Yeah, and the weird thing looking at it, like Josh Allen's like under pressure, like his stats don't falter very much. You know what I mean? So like Dallas is going to put pressure on him, but he's one of those guys like it doesn't affect him as much. I do know he's thrown a lot of interceptions this year, but
it's going to come down to Dak.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on here. We have the set that you said who you're choosing, right?
Yeah, it's Cowboys.
Cool. All right, we have the 10-3 49ers versus the 3-10 Cardinals. The current total right now is 47.5. San Francisco is currently favored by 13.5. No starts, no sits in this game. Let's go into it.
Make this easy, right? Go ahead, Trent. Sorry.
No, just great spot for CMC, but I'm wondering if they're going to play the backup too. Like, can you play the backup running back like Elijah Mitchell or something? Or Jordan, was it Jordan Mason? Did he have a TD last week?
Yeah, but I don't know how much he actually played. Mitchell was out last week. Curious to see if Mitchell comes back or not, though.
Yeah, I think they're just going to let CMC have a great rest of the year. That's what I think. I think they want CMC to have a career year, even though he's had multiple of those throughout his career. But I think they want him to have a special season. I think they're just going to let him dominate this game.
Okay. He had 50 fantasy points last time they played the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're going to let him smash him. That's what he's going to do.
No, I think it's just CMC. Honestly, I think this week kind of sucks if you're like a Debo, Ayuk, Kittle owner because I don't know how much they're going to be involved in this game. Like, look, they're obviously fine, right? But like, I worry about a little bit of blowout issues, and then I just worry about just how much they'll be involved after the last couple of weeks of having to be used quite a bit. So, and I think on the Arizona side, I think Trey McBride's interesting here. I have a hard time trusting anybody else, and I got the Niners to win.
Yeah, Niners.
I'm going Niners. Phil, you're going to get different here. Maybe Kyler Murray gets some garbage time or something. I don't know if I like anyone other than Kyler Murray. Jordan, would you play James Conner or Javonte Williams?
Javonte.
Okay.
You guys want to give me the spread on that one?
No.
Niners. I got to ask every once in a while. We have are they the NFC South leader right now? Bucks?
I think they're tied. I think it's a 3-way tie, right?
Gosh.
I thought they were in first place, but we have the Bucks versus the Green Bay Packers. Current total right now is 42. Green Bay is currently favored by 3.5 at home. I'm going to look that up. Why don't we go ahead and just talk about they are the first place in that division, huh?
Well, just based on the tiebreakers, I think they are in first place.
Yeah, correct. So the this is a big game, excuse me. And what do we want to talk about here? The Packers coming off a frustrating loss, and you know, I don't want to call it a get right game. I don't know. Yeah, let's just talk about it.
It's just a really go ahead. Trent, sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a really like I talked about in my sleeper section with Jaden Reed. Just a really good spot for Jordan Love and the Green Bay passing offense. And I like Rachaad White on the other side. Green Bay isn't great against running backs, so like Dubs, like Reed. Some of those other wide receivers are somewhat interesting. If Wicks and Watson are out, I'll have a ton of this game in DFS. A ton of Jordan Love stacks. With Rachaad White bring back. So really like this spot quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. There's been, what is it? My notes here. Drake London was the 10th wide receiver to have 100+ receiving yards against the Bucks this year. The Seahawks are another defense you want to pick on for wide receivers. They've had 8 100-yard receivers a lot this year. Just a little sidebar there. Yeah, fire up those pass catchers. Fire up Jordan Love. Jordan Love's rostered pretty high too, though. So I'm going Packers win this one. I think Mike Evans is a good play. Probably.
Yeah. I think Evans is fine. I like Godwin a little bit better.
Godwin's struggling this year, and I thought he'd be okay. Yeah. He only has 1 touchdown catch. You know, the PPR points haven't been there. Maybe he turns it around.
Turn around
every now and then.
Come on, Trent.
You know what song? Isn't that the song you're singing, Phil?
Yeah. Yes, what are the lyrics, though?
I don't know, but I felt left out.
Okay.
Are we all taking Green Bay?
Yeah. Cheese heads.
Cheese.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry if my singing puts you to sleep, but what won't put you to sleep, guys, is head over to Sleeper, the dude's favorite place to play fantasy football, guys. Enter promo code DUDES100. They will match you up to $100, guys. Don't just play, the dynamic payouts, all that good stuff. Take your league there too, guys. Best place for fantasy football, and it's a great place for all kinds of other good stuff there. And Phil did a little sleeper play earlier today with for Thursday Night Football. Make your Thursday Night Football a little more fun. Go in there and throw a what did you throw in there, Phil? You threw a Easton Stick play or something? I don't know. It sounded wild.
No, it was Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, 38.5 rushing yards. It was a Crosby sack, and it was a Gerald Everett 3.5 receptions. So,
get that extra Christmas spending money right there. Head over to Sleeper, guys. And off season's coming up. Perfect time to take your league over there to Sleeper. What do we got next, Phil?
Yeah, I'm going to dial you up, though, a little bit here, Trent. It's every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all years have gone by. So just next time, instead of just, faintly humming into the distance, you have... All
right, let's stop that creepy noise.
Yeah. It's 7-6 Texans versus Seth got triggered. Like, he has a certain audio right there. Like, he's like, stop that. Did you guys hear that? Like,
he's probably going to imagine Trent looking through a window making that noise. Like, that's what I imagine.
Yeah. Probably going to dump his trash on my front porch.
It'll be more than trash.
The problem is we have listened. Anyways, to light that bag on fire again. Anyways, the problem is we have a bunch of listeners that actually agree with what Seth says. And I don't know, it might not be good for people's mental health with some of Seth's takes, and just life in general, not fantasy football.
Our average audience is, I don't know. I appreciate them, but I represent a more mature crowd. And so it doesn't shock me that
the way that you right there is crazy.
That is the correct pronunciation there, Setherton. All right, we have the 7-6 Texans versus the 5-8 Titans. The current total right there is 38, and Tennessee is currently favored by 2.5. Trent, you have a big start in this game. Let me hear it, big guy. Give it to us.
Big start. This is all on if CJ Stroud plays. If CJ Stroud plays, I really like Noah Brown, guys. I think he could have some really high upside in this game. And I just like if CJ Stroud plays, I like Noah Brown. If he doesn't play, I don't want to play him. So that I'm just going to leave
Mills,
it at that.
If Davis Mills is in, you're revoking the start.
I'm not doing it. I mean,
okay.
I have to live with it, but like I'm telling you, use your brain. Like you probably can do someone else besides Noah Brown, right? So, and I think Nico Collins is good too. Nico Collins might not play either, though, right?
He didn't practice today. I was just looking at that.
So it could be a really good spot for Noah Brown right here, like a big.
Wouldn't you go back then? Wouldn't you go back to Noah Brown then if Nico Collins is not playing, Trent?
I just don't know with Davis Mills. Like I know he's okay, but like I think Noah Brown could have a really big game. If
Davis Mills is going to chuck though.
Yeah, you have used Chuck
it's a good
times
spot
on this pod. It's a good spot. So yeah, Noah Brown. So I'm going to chuck it over to Jordan.
I'm just telling Jordan, why didn't you make him double down? The last time Trent was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, shake it all around. You gave him a little bit of the business.
No, because that was different. This is a valid point of like if CJ Stroud's out, then it makes it harder. I still think it's a good matchup. I think Davis Mills like can succeed in this game matchup, but I understand it, so I don't have anything.
I think you probably have someone better than Noah Brown if Davis Mills is out there and you feel wheezy. You know, I don't want DMs from guys like Seth sending me stuff like, "Hey, I started him and Davis Mills was in there. Phil told me the guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Phil loves Davis Mills. That's why he's bringing it.
Don't throw me into dumb situations like that.
Okay, well, we already picked on Jordan about DM, so I thought I had to go to your.
And I think you're looking for Queasy, not Wheezy, unless you're talking about Lil Wayne.
That was good, Phil.
Texans.
Word.
Man, actually, this is in Houston.
Texans, baby.
It's in Tennessee, Trent.
Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee, yeah.
I'm taking the Titans.
Going Titans. Will Levis kind of showed me something the other night, man.
Hey, all I'm saying is teams down 14 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 1-727.
Yep. Yeah, Will Levis. I think he's
so. Who are we taking, guys?
I'm taking Texans.
I'm gonna go Texans win this one because I'm hopeful Stroud plays. That's why.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Texans too.
Can I make it that if I'm just kidding? That's what Phil used to always do. If it's raining, then I don't want that team to win, guys.
The problem is that I had two Yahoos who would take those bets all the time, and I would end up winning.
No, but it was like, okay, well, if Jared Goff wears pink socks instead of green socks, and I don't want to do it. It was like the most absurd stuff. So go to the next one, Phil.
You know what? That's for content, Trent. And if you have a problem with content, go ahead and shut your mouth and exit off this Zoom call. Moving on here. So you have the Giants. Danny DeVito's. I keep saying Danny DeVito. It's not Danny DeVito. We have DeVito's Giants versus the 6-7 Saints. The current total right now is 38, with New Orleans favored by 6. Coming off a strong 3-game win streak, they still have New Orleans favored by 6 at home. And frankly, I think that's disrespectful. We have no starts and sits in this game, but let's talk about DeVito a little bit.
No, this game is simple. You have 3.5 guys you can play: Kamara, Olave, Saquon, and then maybe Taysom Hill if he's healthy. There's nobody else. You can't play anyone else in this game.
Yeah, I don't want to play Wandell or any of that. Like, I don't want to play any Giants pass catchers. Like, I love Danny DeVito. I want DeVito to do good. I like the story. The guy hasn't, like, his mom hasn't cooked for him in 2 weeks because the neighbors keep bringing dinner every night. Like, everyone in the neighborhood's bringing him dinner. Like, it's a pretty cool story. I want the DeVito thing to, like, live on. And, yeah, so I'm going to say, man, I think,
I got
who do you
Saints.
think? Like, I think it's the Saints, but I feel like it's going to be close, too.
Saints.
Do you think that Daniel Jones wins that game that DeVito won last week, Jordan?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like,
do you think? Yeah, we could do a whole pod on Danny DeVito, or Tommy DeVito. Sorry, Seth. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Saints.
Seth's related to
technical difficulties here.
Seth's related to Tommy DeVito. It's probably Seth kind of looks like Tommy DeVito's agent, actually. If you put a hat on him like that.
Yes, yeah, and darker hair. DeVito ran a 4.640. The dude's pretty fast. He's got some wheels on him. His game speed is. Go ahead, Seth.
I think most NFL quarterbacks can probably run pretty quick.
Phil, Trent, who are you taking to win this game?
I'm going Saints.
You say most NFL quarterbacks are running around a 4.6, Seth? Is that what you're saying?
He said to run pretty fast.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm saying 4.6 though. It's pretty
Italian
fast. That's
stallion,
what I said.
though.
I'm going with DeVito. I'm don't stop believing, baby.
Gosh.
All
you
right.
might as well not even pick anymore, Phil.
You have a problem. Who did you choose, Seth? The Saints?
Yes.
Seth, you never go against family.
Yeah, I can't believe it. All right, I can't wait till the Giants win, and then on Sunday night, I'm just gonna light Seth up like a Christmas tree for
Please
being
do that. Please
for turning on his family. All right, moving on. We have the 8-5 Chiefs versus the 3-10 Patriots. The current total right now is 37.5. Kansas City is currently favored by 9.5. Although that line is a little bit sketchy, so I may need to have. I was going to set up a good joke there, but I botched it. Anyhow, that is the that is the line there.
Are you excited about Patrick Mahomes in this game? Like, is anyone like they need a bounce back, but the Patriots defense has been pretty solid against quarterbacks as of recently. It's in New England. It's not a great, I know it's Mahomes and you have to play him, but
I think they could kind of kill the Patriots here. So I like Mahomes. Mm-hmm. I like Kelsey. I like Rice. That's kind of it. I mean, I don't know if I like the running back as much. Yeah. So I like Kelsey, Mahomes, Rice. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if Bailey Zappi can catch lightning in a bottle twice. Maybe
Hunter Henry.
The volume for. Do we know about Stevenson? It's still going to be all Zeke, right?
Yeah, I don't know. If Stevenson's out, then I like Zeke. Zeke's in
and then maybe Hunter Henry. If tight end's kind of rough right now. Henry's showed some streakiness. I'm going to say Chiefs win this game. Anyone going to go New England? Phil, you going to go New England? Come on. Seth, give him an offer he can't refuse.
We'll give you the spread.
Oh, I'm not even taking that on this one. I'm going with the Chiefs, obviously.
Thank you, Seth. All right, Chiefs all the way across the boards there. All right, Phil.
I love how Seth is just talking all this trash, yet he still hasn't made a field goal yet in front of all of us. So that's all.
But Seth's dogs were barking, and we got to remember that, okay? And the thing about
you already did this promo.
Yes.
Barking
Trent,
dogs is Underdog, guys. Win money on sports. Simple, fast, fun. Get 5 picks right. You 20 times your money. Pick them, watch them, win them. Choose higher or lower on 2 to 5 of your favorite player stats. The more you pick, the more you can win, guys. Simple as that. Built for fans. 4.8 rating on the App Store with over 58,000 reviews. Winners every day. Over $600 million won by customers on Underdog. Pick them and draft on your home turf, guys. All right, go over to Underdog. Enter promo code DUDES. They will match up to you $500, guys. Underdog, great friends of the pod. Go check them out. And it's okay to bark every once in a while, right, Seth? Okay, what do we got here, Phil?
We have the Zach Wilson's coming off a big hot 5-8. Jets, the Dolphins are currently 9-4. Current total right now is 39. Miami currently favored by 8.5 at home. Jordan, you have a sit in this game.
Yeah, I got Jalen Waddle as my sit here. I had Nico Collins to sit last week, and I know he got hurt, but kind of that same, like, I don't want to attack this Jets secondary. Now, I will say Waddle had a really, really good game, probably his best game of the year against the Jets last time. But I'm going to say it doesn't happen twice. I think Tyreek probably plays here. And really, outside of that, Waddle hasn't been great. So I'm going to make Waddle a sit. It's definitely a little bit of a scary sit just because it's tough to fade this offense at times. But I don't know. I might get burned here, but I just really don't want to test this Jets secondary. They've been really good the last few weeks. So yeah, I have Waddle as a sit here. And then the rest of this game, I like Garrett Wilson on the Jets side. I think he's in a pretty good spot. Zach Wilson got him involved quite a bit last week. So like Garrett Wilson, don't like Jalen Waddle, and always Tyreek, and the Dolphins running backs are fine, I guess.
You would almost like Waddle more if Tyreek was guaranteed playing and looking good, right, Jordan?
No. I would like, honestly, if Tyreek was out, I think it's almost a really bad spot for Waddle. But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If Tyreek's playing, you might like Waddle a little bit more.
Yeah, yes, but like yes and yeah. I guess yes and no at the same time. Like, I don't know. I don't like Waddle in this spot because, like, I think Tyreek can get it done. And I don't know. I don't like Waddle here.
Okay.
It's more of a gut thing than actually like I don't have a lot of like basis for it, if that makes sense. Other than this Jet secondary gives like the least fantasy points to wide receivers. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I almost think that if Tyreek wasn't as badly banged up, they may not be. I don't know. Tyreek is always dangerous, but with him banged up, I thought that they'd almost focus in a little bit more on Waddle, thinking that he's going to be the guy, which might make more sense for the sleeper. Whereas if Tyreek wasn't so banged up, he would obviously get the majority of the worry.
Yeah.
And Waddle would get a little more. But
yeah, I hope we get an Achane game. Like, he had 46% of the snaps last week. He had 9 fantasy points. When he gets the ball, he looks really good. I just don't know if he needs a little bit more of the rhythm. Maybe this is a game where they use the running backs a little bit more. Maybe Mostert. I think you can play both of them just with how explosive they both are. I'm excited to see Zach Wilson play this game. I think I just want to see what he does. Last week, he said, I'm going to go out there. I just went out there and played like I had nothing to lose. What are you going to do? Bench me again? And played pretty good. Dolphins defense isn't too scary. I think the defense can maybe keep him in it. I'm going to just be bold here and say this is my upset of the week. I'm going to say Jets win this game.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going for it. Zach Wilson. I know Phill wants to jump on this train too.
This train's leaving in the morning, bound for glory, baby. I am not going with the Jets as much as it pains me. I got to go with the Dolphins. But if they win,
just ride with me.
I can't do it, dude. Can't do it, buddy.
We're leaving on a jet plane. Okay, never mind.
Nope.
Dolphins.
Watch this defense, guys. Watch Zach Wilson go out there and just slice him up with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall.
Slice, dice, and ride, baby. I could see that guy. He has nothing to. When your back's up against the corner, you have nothing to lose. You're a dangerous man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't know if any of these guys have felt that. I've felt that majority of my life. That's my lifestyle, and so that's how you got to roll. All right,
I know. All right,
what did you say? What did you say?
Never know when your next meal is. I can tell, Phill. Okay, what's next?
All right, we're moving on to the 5-8 Bears versus Joe Flacco's 8-5 Browns. Current total right now is 37.5. Cleveland at home with Joe Flacco at the helm, currently favored by 3.5. Flacco time, taco time. It's about to go down. And they honestly could have flexed this game and just thrown this on Sunday Night Football, baby. I don't know why they didn't. So let's talk about this one a little bit more. Anything you guys want to go off of, Jordan? It doesn't look like I'm exciting you that much. I just cut a killer promo for this game, and it doesn't look like it's appealing at all for you.
My only question is,
I love Flacco.
Can I start Joe Flacco this week?
The Bears are pretty good against the run. I think you can maybe start him.
Flacco or Baker?
Flacco.
Flacco.
Yeah,
Flacco's
you're going
elite,
Flacco.
Flacco's elite. Comeback player of the year.
This
I
sounds
said it.
horrible. Starting Joe Flacco in the playoffs in round 1. This is, oh my gosh.
Jordan, you're playing a guy that
Where we
has
are.
nothing to lose. If he doesn't win, he goes back to his mom's couch to watch football. The guy's out there having a blast. He's slinging it. He's giving his playmakers the ball. I love watching Joe Flacco. And maybe I just like him too much.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Two of the most famous. Yeah. No, he's a Delaware guy. Trent, you love
I'm going to
Delaware.
be agonizing over this Flacco Baker decision all week. It's going to be horrible.
Flip a coin, Jordan. Heads Baker, tails Flacco. When the coin's in the
might
air,
do
you'll
that.
choose. You choose when the coin's in the air, then they make your decision before the coin lands.
I might do that, honestly. Sunday morning at 8 a.m. I'm going to do that.
Not a bad idea.
No, this is what you need to do. No, this is what you need to do. This is a new thing, new segment. Jordan, choose a random cell phone number. You have no idea who they are, and text them Flacco or Mayfield. And they're going to say, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number. And you're going to say, no, I don't. Destiny has brought me here. Is it Flacco or is it Mayfield? I mean, yeah. And then they're going to
idea, honestly.
Then they're going to respond back, and who knows, maybe you get a friend out of it. And or maybe they're a fantasy. Like there's a good chance you might reach out to someone who is fantasy adjacent. Do a 559 number because I could end up seeing, you running into that person. Do
maybe
like
sparks fly.
Maybe sparks
Should I
fly.
find like some weird area? I'm honestly, Phil, at this point, might do that too.
If you do that, please report back on that. That would be, and then screenshot it so that we could send it to the pod.
And then tell them to listen to the pod. Tell them to listen to the pod. Tell them we talked about this. They were a lucky winner. Or I don't know. I'm not in the dating game. You could put like on your profile pic, like, swipe left for. I don't even know how Tinder works.
Let's move on.
Sorry, like I'm just
yeah. See, here's the thing, Trent. When I have a good idea, don't throw in one of yours. That just would make life a lot easier and probably this pod a lot better, to be quite honest with
you. Phil, I hope Jordan takes his shoes back, you moron. Okay, what?
I got Cleveland. Winning this game.
Just some serious notes here. Lions are the only team, and they've done it twice since week 3, to rush for over 97 yards against the Bears, with 5 teams held to 54 or fewer rushing yards. Flacco's going to have to throw the ball if they want to win this game. I like DJ Moore. I like Fields. Fields might have to run a lot too, so this could be a sneaky game. And I agree with Phil. I would like this on Sunday Night Football, but they aren't going to do it. So I'm going to go Browns.
I went Browns too.
Browns, baby. Jordanio.
I say Cleveland.
All right. Moving on here, we have the 6-7 Falcons versus the 1-12 Panthers. Current total right now is 35. Atlanta is currently favored by 3. This is a knife fight, basically. Like it's
with butter knives.
Yeah, with one of those cheese knives you get on a wooden board. Go ahead, Jordan.
This is an easy game. Bijan smash bot. Move on.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I am taking the Falcons. No shock there.
I'm going to go Falcons.
I love that you actually just moved on. You were like, okay, let's go.
Falcons. And if you're, want to just throw a Hail Mary up there, another one besides Flacco is maybe Ritter. Is a deep.
They're just going to run the ball, though, man. I got Atlanta,
I'm gonna
too.
go Falcons.
All right.
All right. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. We have the 10-3 Ravens versus the 8-5 Jags. Current total right now is 43.5. Baltimore currently favored in Jacksonville. Jordan, you have a start in this game.
Yeah. What are the Baltimore favored by, Phil?
Just 3.5. 3.5 is what I'm seeing right now. I can double check though. Why are you jumping into it?
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
So the Jaguars, my start's Zay Flowers. The Jaguars have been really, really bad against wide receivers lately. They give up the 7th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year, the 3rd most touchdowns, 6th most receiving yards. Flowers says 18 targets the last 2 games and is playing 97% snaps last week. I know OBJ's come on, and I know that was someone's sleeper of the week, right? Was that your sleeper, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like OBJ too. I just think Zay Flowers is a little bit more reliable. I think he's a little more consistent. I think Zay Flowers is a pretty big game here. Like I said, this Jaguars team cannot cover the pass. Their defense is kind of falling apart, literally falling apart with injuries as the year's gone on. Yeah, so I think they maybe try to stop the run here. I really think that Zay Flowers is a big game.
I like Isaiah Likely also in this one.
Yeah.
And I just got to,
I think on the Jaguars side,
just Keaton Mitchell update. He had 33% of the snaps last week. So
yeah,
he did lead them in rushing yards again, though, I believe. So it's just a mess back there. Yeah, he had a lot more rushing yards than Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards had 15. Keaton Mitchell had 54. So maybe Keaton Mitchell breaks it up.
They also threw the ball a ton last week. On the Jaguars side, this secondary didn't look good. This Baltimore pass defense didn't look good last week. So I think Ridley could have a game. I think Zay Jones, both Zays, I think, could have decent games here. Zay Jones might be solid. Parker Washington, we'll see. He kind of filled that third wide receiver role for the Jaguars. I think Etienne's fine here, but we'll see. I'll be honest, I'm not optimistic about the Jaguars in this spot. So,
yeah, I agree with everything you said, Jordan. Zay Jones actually playing pretty good, or he did good without what's his name, Christian Kirk last week. This game's at home. Ravens coming off a big win. It's at home for the Jags. Ravens come off a big win. I'm going to say Ravens win this one. It would not shock me if the Jags pull it out, though.
I'm going to take the Jaguars, but I don't feel great about it.
I'm taking the Jaguars. Sorry, Seth. Taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Jags. The favorite has actually changed a little bit. It's currently favored by 3.
Okay.
All right.
Seth, you said Ravens, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, moving on here. We have the Monday night football game, the 10-3 Eagles versus the 6-7 Seahawks. Current total right now is 47.5. Philadelphia currently favored by 4 in the toughest stadium to play in the NFL. Seth, you have a start in this game. I'm going to kick it over to you.
Yeah, so my start this week is DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has had a rough past few weeks, and that's because the Eagles' secondary is terrible. They're playing down in games. However, I don't think the Seahawks are better than the Eagles. I do think the Seahawks have a chance at winning this game. However, I do think it will be close enough to where DeAndre Swift will be able to run the ball. And I think the Seahawks aren't the best at really any sort of defense. And we saw the game Christian McCaffrey had on the first play of the game. I think the defense is going to be ready to get passed on, and then the Eagles are going to run the ball. And it's possible you get one of those weeks where the Eagles just run the tar out of the ball and they just kill us. So maybe that'll be it.
Yeah. So the only team without a double-digit running back score against the Seahawks since week 7 was the Rams, and Kyron Williams was out. So I actually made this my start of the week today while I was doing the notes, that I noticed that you had done that already, Seth. So I think it is a really good Swift spot, even though I've been a Swift hater this year. Seth just flashed, a mean offensive sign at me on the camera. If you want to see that, go check it out at tffdudes on YouTube. Give us a sub. But yeah, good spot for Swift here. And I think they're going to have to run the ball. Or I think they finally will get to run the ball. And maybe DK has another bounce back. Do we know if Geno's playing? Anyone heard anything?
I would think so.
That's such a great question, Trent.
We have the two biggest Seahawks fans I know, and they don't even know. So that's cool. And
the most frustrating thing is that we don't have Flacco on our team. That would be I would take Michael Vick at this point compared to we have in our quarterback room. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Charbonnet. Did Charbonnet play last week against 49ers? We have Charbonnet.
Yeah.
They both played.
He goes by Sharbs, just so you know.
Sharb loading. Okay. I
just like Jason in this spot. I like Jason a lot here, for what it's worth. I want to keep attacking this Eagles secondary.
JSN is 15th in the NFL in yards after catch, I believe, is what I heard today. So he could have a sneaky game here. But like, it's just, yeah. Would you stream Drew Lock in this game, Jordan?
No.
You're not
No.
that risky for it. You don't
But
like
I do
this
feel
Eagles
good
defense that
about
much.
DK and Lockett. And this secondary is so bad. I'm willing to play anybody against the secondary, but not the quarterback.
Here's the problem: DK is going to get in fight with Darius Slay within the first 9. I wish I had some betting odds that I could throw down on that. But within the first 9 plays of the game, DK and Darius Slay will be in some sort of fisticuffs.
And that's
You
the
think- you
thing.
think-
It's like,
You think fighting already? Definitely words, but I don't know about fighting yet.
Maybe
you
not
do that-
fisticuffs, but shoving and
DK's a weird guy though. He like watches all that anime, and that's how he's learned all this sign language. And it's like he did the sign language, like hoping that he would stop fighting, but I don't think it's helped. Like the guy, I don't know.
Well, I don't
guys
think
just
he
get
was
under his
going to
skin.
fight until he got cheap shot.
He did get cheap shotted, Seth. I will back you there. That was
I
a
don't think
cheap
he was going
shot.
to fight until he got cheap shotted.
What
And
about
honestly, like what the NFL reviews literally every single play, yet they can't review that play to fine that linebacker or suspend him for a game. That really, they are giving fines for running backs who are making a perfectly normal block, yet they don't find this dude who literally cheap shotted DK before that fight broke out. He should be suspended.
I don't know about
It's-
suspended, but fine, maybe.
Suspended 1 game. That was
Here's-
targeting. He went head to head with the back of DK's helmet.
Here's the thing: is Phill? I hate that.
When I'm
Phil's
right, I'm
trying to-
right.
no, you're agreeing with more fighting. The Eagles, well, they have Big Dom on the sidelines. They are 0-2 since Dom got kicked off the sidelines.
Dom
And-
Perignon.
Yeah. So he looks like he's the juice, the secret behind all their success.
Bring
Owen
him
The
back.
moths in them.
I don't think DK. I don't know. The 49ers are kind of. That's something I don't know why we didn't talk about that more on Sunday's pod. Seth was there watching the fight, and he just didn't bring it up on the pod at all. I don't know why we didn't have that on Monday.
He
But,
did text about it.
Yeah, Warner is kind of the Niners are kind of a dirty team. They do dirty stuff. I'm gonna say Eagles win this game. Anyone go Seahawks?
I'm going Hawks just for kicks.
Phil will
First
go
fight,
Instagram.
No, I'm going
Phil will
Hawks.
go Instagram live if DK gets another fight. It's just for what it's worth. So you might want to tune into that at tffdudes. Actually, I don't think he'll be.
Phil, who are you going?
He said
I
Hawks.
said Hawks.
All right.
What are you doing, Jordan?
I got Philadelphia, and I will give a score. What's the total here? It's 47.5.
Yep.
That's what I have in my gun up. I will go 52. Trent, it's you.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 55.
Seth,
Oh boy. What'd you say, Jordan?
50. He said 52.
52.
I'm gonna go 50.
Phil, go
Phil?
lowest. Go like 38.
No, I'm gonna go 44.
44.
All right.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. It was a fun episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. We will see you on Monday. Don't forget about that Christmas special coming up. And as always, guys, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.